Well, my work relates quite strongly to the environment, particularly, you know, where the studios are in East London. It's quite a kind of slightly chaotic, organic environment, I think. You know, there's a sense of everything being built on top of each other and things changing and things being adapted, and there's a sense, or I often have the sense that there's lots of other things hidden away that you don't quite get to see. Sort of this in particular environment of East London where I work, and Camden where I live as well, but that all kind of feeds into the work. I guess in a similar way to when you read fiction that's about a very particular place that you recognise, but it's not put together in the usual way, but it tells you it is about that city or about that location. So, but it's sort of slightly one step away, and that's kind of how I see my work in relation to the environment that it's part of. So the final pieces I realised as quite large-scale photographs, and when I think about the size, I think very much about how the piece will feel when you stand in front of it, so that you have a sense that you stand in front of the room itself. So I often experiment with printing them to get them to the right size, so you have this sense of the physical relationship with the space that you look at, rather than a small kind of picture type image. Yeah, lots of people always ask me, do you have lots of assistants, and does somebody build it for you and then you come in? But the process is actually really, really important to me. Yeah, it's very important for me that I am the one that does everything, because it's sort of through the process that the thing comes into being. So I kind of need to do stuff myself. Through the physical construction process, a lot of the other things happen, because sometimes there can be an accident as well, you know, like something doesn't turn out quite the right way, or material, you know, like a plaster or something that I use doesn't behave in the way I expect it to do, but does something else that's really interesting, which can then, maybe even if it doesn't get used in that piece, it can be something that I end up using in another piece. And because I don't work in a way where I say, I'm going to make that and it's going to look like this. Like at the beginning, I have no idea how it will look at the end. So it's sort of a balance between these quite practical making things and a lot of thinking and looking. I spend a lot of time actually just looking through the camera at the thing that I've made. The photograph is a means to convey a certain situation to you, or a means to put you into a certain relationship with the space in a very precise and controlled way. The final way that I present my work is they're diaset mounted prints. As images, they feel like they stand out, and they kind of fill out the space around them in a way, so I don't want to have an actual frame around which limits that kind of sense. I like the perfection of the final surface on the photograph, because it almost, it kind of seals that world in. I think, I mean, in terms of making art, it's just what I do, it's what I've always done. It's what I'm excited, I don't know, it's just what I'm excited by, so there was no great realisation moment. It's just part of my life.